Hello everyone, and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3 coverage of Omens of Destruction. This video isn't going to be terribly long, but I just wanted to show y'all the new faction selection screens and kind of effects for the characters from Khorne, Ogres, and Greenskins that you're familiar with, just in case you wanted to see if there's been any notable changes or if there's anything that jumps out at you. So it's not going to be super long, but we're basically just going to kind of go through the relevant factions here and check out their various effects. And you may say, oh, well, that's pretty much the same, in which case it is. And you may say, oh, well, that's really, really different. But starting with Grimgor Ironhide, we have his recruit Black Orc Big Bosses from all provinces, plus 2 capacity for Black Orc Big Bosses, plus 30% income for battle loot, minus 15% upkeep for Black Orcs and Biggins, and then he personally gets 10% replenished campaign movement every time he wins a fight, similar to what you see with, like, mostly Khorne characters. All Black Orcs in his army cause fear, and then he's got his unique wall and his Your Next goodies. For Azhag the Slaughterer, he still has his plus 40 diplomacy with Vampire Counts and Archon the Black. He's immune to vampiric attrition. He does have plus 2 hero capacity for Giant River Troll Hags, and he also further buffs himself and Giant River Troll Hags because for his faction, they have a minus 10% Winds of Magic cost for the Lore of Death. Then Azhag does have his personal stuff of he has a plus 25% income from sacking, immune to psychology for his entire army, and of course he has death magic in his unique Wa. Then you have Skarsnik, good old Skarsnik, who is bringing in, still has his Can't Recruit Orcs Till He Takes Care of Gate Peaks, 100% extra experience for all heroes, minus 50% for hero actions, plus 15% ambush success chance for all armies, and minus 20% upkeep for all goblins and squigs. However, very cool is that Skarsnik now has Stalking Stance. Now, this is only for Skarsnik, not his faction, but it does mean Skarsnik can operate like Skaven, where he can attack and count as being ambushing. And then he gets plus 8 leadership, plus 4 melee defense for all night goblins, and has his good old Wa. Wurrzag, of course, has a new start location down in the Southland, something that we'll be talking more about very, very soon. You can see he still can construct Savage Orc recruitment buildings anywhere he wants. He has plus 10% campaign movement for all armies, minus 50% upkeep for Savage Orcs for all armies, and plus 15 Winds of Magic for all armies. Then for his personal Lord effects, he's got plus 20 charge bonus and 15% extra physical resistance for all Savage Orcs, minus 50% recruitment as well, and he's got Wurrzag's Wa. And then Grom the Punch has stuck with his Cauldron ability, minus 80 diplomacy with high elves, minus 20% upkeep for all chariots and pump wagons, plus 15 charge bonus for all chariots and pump wagons. And then his Lord effects are still all about leadership, plus 8 leadership for Gobos, plus 10% physical resistance for Gobos, and his Wa. Can't show Gorbad yet. That will be coming soon, but not yet. Skarbrand is, of course, bringing some really cool goodies to the occasion. While he does still have that minus 20 with all other Khorne factions, his armies replenish in foreign territory faction-wide, plus 1 Khorne corruption faction-wide, plus 1 to how long his blood host can go without starting to take attrition damage. And also faction-wide, he gets plus 2 additional units every time any of his armies make a blood host. Now, the really sexy new thing for Skarbrand is that he's all about your Bloodthirsters and Soul Grinders, at least him personally. So you get Gore Feast for all Bloodthirsters and Soul Grinders in Skarbrand's army, meaning they regenerate in close combat. He also gets 20% upkeep reduction for Bloodthirsters and Soul Grinders. He gets 30% extra skulls from killing people, and he still has his Rage Embodied ability. Very new to the roster is Arbaal the Undefeated. So Arbaal, who comes from the World's Edge Mountains to the north, along the Road of Skulls, which is very, very fitting for a Khorne character, he is your Mortals-focused character. He has access to a unique mechanic that I'll be showcasing later on today in a stream, which is called the Challenges of Khorne. He also gives minus 10% upkeep for non-demonic units faction-wide, minus 50% construction cost for mortal military and defense buildings faction-wide, and also minus 50% construction time for those same military and defense buildings. Then for his Lord effects, he has, for his personal army, he has minus 1 global recruitment time for all units in his army, plus 10% weapon strength for non-demonic units. He He grants the Hellblade passive to Chaos Warriors, Chosen Chaos Knights, and Skull Crushers, which is very, very nice. And then he has the Gaze of Khorne as an active ability, which makes him unable to move, but he explodes and deals damage to people around him. Can't show Skulltaker yet, so we're on to the Ogre Kingdoms. Greasus Goldtooth has his new mechanic of the Tyrant's Demand, where he's able to take special campaign actions by spending gold. He has plus 20 diplomacy with Ogre Kingdom factions, plus 50% income from all trade tariffs. And then for him personally, he still has Everyone Has Their Price as one of his unique ability, and he gets plus 50% extra income when he's looting and sacking settlements. Then we've got Skrag. Skrag the Slaughterer now has a new mechanic where he gains buffs based on the amount of offerings to the Maw that's currently active. He gets 10% extra meat from all battles faction-wide, 10% extra campaign movement faction-wide, and plus 2 recruit ranks for Slaughtermasters and Butchers faction-wide. For his personal effects, he gets a 50% reduction in costs to the Great Maw. Also, all Gorgers now have Devastating Flanker, which makes them very nasty coming from the side. And he also has upkeep reduction for all Sabertusk, Blood Vultures, Yetis, Thundertusk, Stonehorn, and Gorgers. And he still has his Gorger summon. So, that pretty much wraps it up for this video, as those are the major factions that I got focused on so far. I will be streaming quite a bit later today, so I hope you're all looking forward to that. And I will see y'all then. Like I said, this is just kind of a short and sweet video to show these off and then skedaddle along with the day. So I'm going to go finish up preparations for that, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thanks for watching.